Hey guys, it's your boy Ghost, and I hope you're all having a good day. My day's been pretty, not the best, to be honest. I've been a little bit sick for the past 2 days. My throat has been killing me. So if I sound a little bit weird, that's on me. But this story time should make up for that because it's a pretty interesting one. It's a little bit sad because it's about how I lost my best friend of 8 years. But anyways, if you guys enjoy, make sure you leave a like and let's get straight into it. So this story time all began in elementary school. Now, me in elementary school, I was a little bit, I always kept to myself a lot of the time. I didn't really like talking to people because I didn't really care for other people. Of course, I cared for them, but you know what I mean. On a random day in recess, I was just chilling, vibing by myself, just, enjoying the world. And this random kid comes up to me. Let's call this kid Zach. So Zach isn't the main character of this story time. He's the main reason though why all this happened. So Zach comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, do you like the Avengers?" I'm like, "Who doesn't like the Avengers? I love the Avengers. My favorite character is Spider-Man. Who's yours?" And he's like, "Oh, Captain America." And then I'm like, "What? You don't like Spider-Man?" He's like, "Nah, I like Captain America." And we were just talking. And before I knew it, we became like the best of friends super quickly. So Zach, after we were done talking, he introduced me to three other people. Now, the main character of this story time, let's call him Peter. So Peter is the main character of this story. And there were two other people that were also my friends. Main best friends was Zach and Peter. So before I knew it, it was already the last year elementary school, and it was like what 3 years passed, 4 years passed. And before I knew it, I had a group of friends. Now the last year of elementary comes around, and unfortunately, Zach isn't able to come with us to our middle school because I think his parents wanted him to go to a private middle school. So we were unfortunately not able to see him again. Of course, Peter and the two other friends were able to see him because they live close to him, but for me, I wasn't able to see him anymore. I think that was the last time I ever saw him. I was able to see him like later down the road, but it wasn't for a good reason. So basically, it was the last year I ever saw Zach. So now this is where the story gets interesting. It's just me, Peter, and then two other friends. If y'all didn't know yet, I made a story time about a Stalker video. I made like what 3 parts, and this is how the Stalker video all started, kinda. So it was our, I think, eighth year or seventh year of middle school. And then one day, this random girl comes along. Now, this is also very important. So let me give you some details about this. So this girl easily became one of the most popular, one of the most attractive looking girls in our middle school. Me, I was very attracted to her because she was someone who well, of course, she was my type. So every time I would see her in class, I would make side conversations with her. I got to know her more and more. From what I already knew, one, she already had a boyfriend. She was already in a relationship. And I was like, oh, okay. If she's in a relationship, I won't try anything because I'm not that type of guy to do anything when someone's in a relationship because I know I wouldn't enjoy that. But yeah, so I just kind of chilled out a little bit. So her boyfriend at the time, let's call him Richard, he didn't like me at all. He did not like me. I kind of think he hated me for some reason. I don't know why. Because every time I would talk to him, he would give me really dirty looks and just wouldn't like me. So Richard was the type of guy who was a little bit, he was kind of funny, but at the same time, he was a little bit mean. And him and Peter, my best friend, got along really, really well, which is why I got to know Richard a little bit more because every time I was with Peter, my best friend, Richard would be there. So I would like talk to him a little bit, and right off the bat, I could already tell again he didn't like me very much. He just kind of like tolerated me a little bit, which was kind of weird. I didn't really pay much mind to it, so I just didn't really talk to him as much. And then one day, Richard and the girl broke up. And me being me at this time, the little douche I am, the little scumbag, the little piece of garbage that I was like, this is my chance. This is my chance to get with the girl. Because again, I liked her, right? But I didn't want to try anything because they were dating. But now that they were broken up, I was like, you know what? Maybe my this is my chance to shine. So of course I give it a little bit. I give it like what, a month or two, and then I'm telling Peter that I'm thinking about asking her out. Him being my best friend at the time, he's like, you know what, you should. This is great. This is a great idea. I think it would be awesome. You know, being a good friend. So he gives me the confidence that I need, and then I, of course, go up to her and ask her out. And to no surprise, she says yes. And from that day forward, we started dating. Now you're probably wondering, why are you telling me this? Why is this so important? This is probably the most important thing in this story time because that this was the biggest mistake I made in my life. So, anyways, now where I'm in a relationship and I'm having a blast. I'm having such a good time. I'm loving life at this point. I'm thinking nothing could go wrong. And to my luck, y'all know how it is. Something goes wrong. So at this point, we've been dating for at least a month now or two. And again, everything's going fine. And then one day, he stopped coming to our lunch table because we would have a lunch table that we would always go to. And I was like, what the hell? I wonder where he is. And I saw that he was with Richard. And I'm like, oh, okay. He probably just wants to talk to him about something. So I just let it be. And I just ate my food. Lunch was over, recess was over, and then we started going to class. And then this is where everything goes downhill. So the next day pulls around, and for some reason, Peter isn't talking to me anymore. He's not talking to me at all. He's not even paying attention to me. So, me being me, I am starting to make jokes now. I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? You're not talking to me? You can't see me? And he looks annoyed at me for some reason. I'm like, what the hell? Why is he annoyed at me? So I go up to him like, hey man, did I do something wrong? Why are you annoyed at me? He's like, bro, just leave me alone. I'm like, what? What did I do something to offend you? And he's like, nah, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm like, okay, I guess. Which I thought was really weird. I go to my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, hey, do you know what's wrong with Peter? Because she knew my best friend and they would talk a lot. And she told me, no, nothing's wrong. Not from what I see. But I have seen him talk to Richard a lot more, her ex. And I'm like, yeah, it's been a little bit weird. I just think it's one of those days where he's just really annoyed. So I was like, you know what? I'll give him some time and just leave him be. Some days goes by and he finally warms up to me again and he's talking to me, having fun. He goes back to being his normal self. And I'm just thinking, what an odd person. But I just leave it be because he's being normal. He's being my friend again. And then a couple months go by and this is the point where I don't want to be in with this girl anymore because one, she's really weird. She does really weird stuff. I can make a whole different story time about that. That'll be for another day. But anyways, the short story is I broke up with her, and after I broke up with her, everything that I knew just got destroyed. When I broke up with her, she kind of spreaded some rumors about me that were not true. And before I knew it, the whole school kind of hated me because, like I said in the beginning, she was very popular. She was very, very popular. She was the most popular girl in the school. And when I broke up with her, oh boy, all hell broke loose. At this point, no one's liking me. There are some people that like me because I was also popular. So I had like my group of friends, and then she had her group of friends, and a lot of the guys didn't like me. A lot of the girls didn't like me anymore. I lost a good amount of friends, and but that again, that's for another story time. So on this day, it was a Thursday. So I'm there at school, and the first person I see is Peter, my best friend, and I'm like, "Hey man, what's going on?" Completely ignores me, doesn't even look at me, and just continues walking. I'm like, what the hell? Maybe he's just mad at me or something. And as he's walking, he goes up to Richard and he acts all happy to see him. And like, he starts talking to him. They're happy talking to each other. And then Richard looks back at me and gives me like a devious smile. So clearly there's something going on. He probably was telling Peter something false about me. And yeah, I didn't know what to do anymore. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to class. Maybe Peter will again warm up to me like he did before, and everything will go back to how it was. And oh boy, was I wrong. So I go to class, and me and Peter had the same class. And on this day, we had a substitute teacher. So everyone was allowed to do whatever they wanted. So I'm like, oh, this is a great opportunity to go up to Peter and make up with him. So I go up to him. I'm like, hey man, did I do something wrong? I'm really sorry if I did. And again, he just ignores me, completely ignores me. And then I started getting a little bit frustrated. I started getting a little bit irritated because, well, my best friend isn't talking to me and he's not acting like his usual self. So I get a little bit annoyed. I'm like, hey man, can you just talk to me? Like, I'm here in front of you. Tell me what I did wrong so I can know and apologize for what I did wrong. And finally, he looks at me in my eye. He's like, bro, shut up. I'm like, what? He's like, shut up, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm done with you. I'm like, what the hell? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Can you tell me what I did? And again, he just completely ignores me after that. He gets up and just goes out into the hall. I go after him and I'm like, hey man, what the hell? I thought we were friends. He turns around, he looks at me, and he says, we're not friends anymore. I don't want to talk to you ever again. Leave me alone. And bro, my heart like dropped because this was sad. He was my best friend. And I was so like confused on what I did wrong. I was like, why is he being like this? You know, I thought we were good homies. And as he was walking away, I'm yelling at him and saying, yo, tell me what I did wrong at least. Talk to me. And again, he ignores me and continues walking. And now that I'm saying all this, all I'm imagining is one of those like Korean dramas where like it's like the breakup scene where he's like, no, come back. I love you. And it's so funny to me because that's all I'm imagining. But yeah, that's basically what happened. So at this point, I'm like, dang, this is serious. He's serious to never talking to me again and not wanting to be friends anymore. So what I do next is I go to our other two friends that know him way better than me because they grew up with him, and I'm like, hey man, is everything all right with Peter? He just told me he doesn't want to talk to me ever again. And they were like, nah, I genuinely don't know why he doesn't. He was talking really like bad stuff about you behind your back, by the way. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, he was like really hating on you. I'm like, dang, I wonder what I did wrong. He's like, I don't even know. As the day goes by, as school goes by, I see Richard. And Richard is, again, looking at me and giving me a devious smile, an evil smile. And I know for a fact he is behind this. So this man doesn't even want to talk to me anymore. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to continue trying to be friends with someone who doesn't even want to be friends with me anymore and won't even tell me what I did wrong because I really was so confused. Peter didn't even want to talk to me anymore. Every time I tried to talk to him, he ignored me, walked away. So I gave up and continued my school life. Now, unfortunately, I also lost my other two friends because, well, they were Peter's, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but they were like his little minions. Because everywhere he went, they went. Everything he said or like liked, they liked. Everything he didn't like, they didn't like. So they were his like little minions. And after they figured out that Peter doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, guess what happened? They didn't want to be friends with me anymore. And this is where like everything kind of just ended. One day I was in class being by myself because well everyone kind of hated me. Well, not everyone. And I was walking going in my locker and Peter comes up to me. I'm like, what the hell? Why is he coming up to me all of a sudden? I thought he didn't want anything to do with me anymore. And let me tell you right now, the next thing he says to me kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but also was really weird. So he comes up to me, and Richard was right behind him. So they both come up to me, and they're like, "Good luck with getting into college." And I'm like, "What?" And then they just left. They just said that and left. I'm like, "What the hell? Did they do something to me? Did they do something to my life?" And from that point on, I was just like a little bit like confused. I was thinking so hard on what they did to me or what they were gonna do. And thankfully, I went to college and nothing happened, so everything turned out pretty fine. And the crazy part is, after a few years, one of my old friends in that friend group added me on Discord. They found out my Discord. I don't know how, but I added them back because I wanted to see what they wanted. And I got curious and I was like, hey, do you remember Peter? and apparently they still talk to him. So I was like, "Oh, cool. Did you ever find out why he kind of stopped talking to me?" And what he told me was apparently my ex and Richard were telling him lies about me, telling him rumors that like I was a bad person, I did all types of bad stuff, and he believed them. And he just didn't want to talk to me anymore after that. He just didn't like me anymore. Apparently, that's from what I was told. So not even he knew the real reason. And I was just, to this day, I'm still confused on why he kind of just stopped talking to me. And that was the story time. The moral of the story is always try to get both sides of the story before jumping to conclusion. And don't spread rumors about people. That's really a terrible thing to do. Don't do that. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this story time, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your favorite part, or any of your story times. I would love to read it. And if you're new here, subscribe would help me out so much. I would really appreciate it. And it's been your boy Ghost, there Ghost of Dreams. Peace.